So this video game was actually inspired by a phone call that nobody took seriously. In October of 1991, Will Wright was standing outside of his home in Oakland Hills when he noticed something very wrong. He saw smoke nearby. Not flames, not sparks, just a thin, unnatural trail of smoke curling into the air. The kind of smoke that basically is giving you all kinds of warning signs. The hills were dry, the wind was restless, and his gut basically told him, look, something is not right. So he called the police. Now, he explained to the police that there was smoke, that the air felt wrong, something was going to happen. But smoke without fire doesn't sound like an emergency, so the call ended. Now, minutes later, the smoke began to thicken, and then it changed color, and then the hills ignited. But the fire didn't just spread, it literally exploded. Winds were slamming it downhill, leaping roadways, swallowing houses whole. Flames were just crawling up the walls and punching through the windows. Entire streets literally vanished before sirens could even get there. People ran without knowing where to go. Cars burned where they stalled. The air just turned black, couldn't breathe. Now, Will escaped with nothing but his life, but behind him his home burned until there was literally nothing left to recognize. Now, when the firestorm finally died, the neighborhood looked unreal, something like the world ended. More than 3,000 homes reduced to skeletal frames. Everything was erased. Days later, when he came back home, the silence was even worse. There was no birds, no wind, just ash. And that's when he noticed ants. Dead ants scattered everywhere, entire lines of them just frozen where the heat killed them. Entire colonies wiped out. He stared at them for a long time, longer than he meant to. They were just insects after all. But they were systems, perfectly organized lives undone by a single failure. And as Wright rebuilt his own life, that image wouldn't leave him. Now, the idea that tiny, ignored warnings can destroy entire worlds, he began thinking differently about games. He was a video game designer, about control, about systems that seem stable until they're not. Now, he already simulated ants once, but now he put the lens on people. Needs, routines, homes balanced on invisible rules. What if one little thing goes wrong? And the question became The Sims, a game where catastrophe doesn't come with monsters, it comes quietly. A fire from a stove left unattended is what caused this, all traced back to a smoky warning, a dismissed phone call, and a man standing in the ashes watching dead ants, realizing that chaos doesn't arrive screaming, it starts as smoke. And there, The Sims was born.